stick to those times. And yeah, so the general format of the session will be quite simple, really. We'll just hear from all of the groups that we've got with us today, just a bit about the organisations they represent and the volunteer opportunities that are available. And then at the end, there'll be an opportunity for questions and answers. So as Daniel mentioned, if you have any specific questions you'd like to pop in the chat as you go along, that's fab. Or if you want to kind of hang on to them and ask them at the end, then that's great too. We'll also be sharing a summary sheet relating to all of the organisations after the session, so you'll be able to get in touch with them directly, and obviously you can also access their details on our volunteer and community platform, Do It. So if you've not signed up to Do It already, then we'd really encourage you to do that, as it's sort of a great resource to find out more about the voluntary and community sector and all the volunteer opportunities that there are.
Brilliant, thank you. So yeah, we will kick off and get started with some of the community voluntary groups. So first up, we have Harry's Rainbow.
Hi, I'm going to share my screen because I've put a PowerPoint together for you. So we are Harry's Rainbow. I'm going to do a real quick whistle-stop tour of who we are and what we're looking for, because the 3-minute limit and I could talk forever. So we are 10 years old this year. We're based in Milton Keynes and we support children from this area and the surrounding areas. We support up to the age of 25 and we support children that have been bereaved of a parent or a sibling. Very importantly, there is no time limit on our support. As long as these children need us, then we will be there and we'll offer the support that they require. So why do we need the volunteers? We're a tiny charity. There's 2.5 members of staff, 2 full-time and myself as a part-time. We're growing and the need for our services is expanding, not just because of the recent events, but just because awareness of us is being raised as well. We averaged that we're 25% up on our registrations compared to this time last year. Our groups wouldn't run without our volunteers. Our events wouldn't be successful without our volunteers, and our families just wouldn't receive the help that they need. To put it into context, in that picture, you can see every single person there, barring 3 of us, is a volunteer. So what can you do? We're always on the lookout for volunteers. We don't ask for a minimum commitment, so we're asking you to contribute as much or little time as you have. However, saying that, if you do help out at our groups, we do meet once a month, so we are asking 3 hours from you for that, from 4 to 7 p.m. on a Monday evening. We do a different type of group, which is a peer meetup. That's less regularly, so we meet once every 3 months. And again, we ask you to be there from 5:30 to 7:30. So that's just 2 hours once every 3 months if you're a bit tighter on time. For all events and trips, we just shout out to our volunteers, say that this is what we're doing, this is where we need you, and you say whether you can make it or not. Very excitingly, we're planning a ball next year to end our 10-year celebration. And we are looking specifically for a team that can help us to organise that and carry that out as well.
1 minute to go, Rachel.
Thank you. What we ask from you is that you undertake an enhanced DBS check. You complete some training, especially if you're helping at the groups. You look at and you read and understand our policies, and you are able to access emails, as that's how we mainly communicate. However, if that is something you can't do, I'm more than happy to have a phone call as well. Groups are just one thing that we offer. So this is a very quick overview of everything else that we do to support our families. This is our vision, our missions and our values, just so you get an idea of where we are and what we're doing. This is our commitments to our beneficiaries. So again, so you can see what we're doing and why. And these are our contact details. Thank you so much for your time.
Fantastic. Thank you, Rachel. That was 10 seconds to spare. That was perfect. That was, yeah, excellent. Thank you. Yeah, that sounds, yeah, really great opportunities there to get involved with the really important organisations. That's fab. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, we're going to hear from Depaul, Milton Keynes next. So I think, yeah, Catherine's going to tell us a bit about the volunteer opportunities available there. Thanks.
Hi all. So you might not have heard of us because we are new to Milton Keynes this year. Depaul it's been running for over 30 years. We're a homelessness prevention charity specifically for young people. And in Milton Keynes, our focus is mainly around 16 to 25-year-olds. One of our services is called Night Stop, and this is it's community hosting. So we place young people who are in need of somewhere safe and warm to stay in the homes of everyday people. It's just for a night or two, and whilst they're with the hosts, we will then we'll work with them to find them longer term housing solutions. So we work with places like YMCA, council, private landlords, but that initial those few nights in the homes of someone else is just so important for these young people, because often, well, it prevents them from going onto the streets, it prevents them from going into hostels, which hostels are fantastic, but especially for this age group, they might not have experienced that environment yet. So we are very much trying to get them break that cycle before they get into homelessness. And it means so often it's the first time someone has actually welcomed their home to them, a complete and utter stranger, just saying, we don't care about what your story is, we love you, we care for you, and we want to provide a warm meal for you, and here is a room for you. So yeah, what does it involve? We are basically just after people who have spare rooms. We've got no commitment is necessary. Just one night a month is amazing. 5 nights a week is blooming fantastic, but obviously we understand that's not really necessarily doable for many people. And you will be trained, you'll be supported throughout. We've got to do DBS checks, of course, to make sure there's the safety for our guests, but also we are so aware of the safety of the hosts and their families. So we do get references from the young people, and we do thorough risk assessments. So we
1 minute to go, Catherine.
Fantastic, thank you. We are also looking for drivers. So again, basically you tell us your availability, whether you're a driver or a host. We'll be in contact with you on a regular basis. Just let us know what the best way to contact you is and how often. And if someone presents themselves to us on that day, we will then call you up if you've said you're available that day. We'll check to see if you are still available, and you can tell us there and then, actually, I'm not, and I'm not able to do this. So seriously, the main thing is, if you're interested to speak to us, we will obviously tell you the whole process. We'll talk you through it all. There's no commitment, but it is a bit of a long onboarding process. So we might as well get that conversation started. And just we love having conversations. If you're not able to drive or provide a spare room, just because we are so new to the area, we're wanting people to know that we exist. So please just do speak to your friends and families and anyone who's got a heart for helping young people, then, and has a spare room is amazing. Then just, please let them know we exist. Okay. Email or phone number. So the email is nightstop.mk@depaulcharity.org.uk. But obviously Fantastic. It's all going to be sent around with you anyway.
Yeah, that's lovely. Oh, thank you, Catherine. That's perfect. Yeah, as you say, we'll send around those contact details as well, so people can get in touch. But yeah, thank you so much for that. It's really, obviously such an important volunteering opportunity that, hopefully so many people, like you say, might not be aware of, that it's a possibility to do, and might be something that they could easily offer if they've got a spare room. So. Yeah.
And the thing is, homelessness is so much more than rough sleeping. It's all like, there's so many people who are staying in unstable environments. So we just want them to know that actually they can be in a safe and warm place, and we will support them through their journey. So,
yeah, fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you so much. That's great. Excellent. Yeah, so we're going to go on next to hear from Volunteering Matters. I think we got Heather with us this evening.
Hello.
Oh, hello there. Hi, Heather. Thank you.
Hi. Well, volunteering matters in Milton Keynes have 3 projects. So they have the MK Drivers Service project and the Grand Mentors and the Stepping Stones. But I'd like to talk first about the Drivers Service that myself and Hina manage. We're desperately looking for volunteer drivers. We've grown so much over this last year, even during COVID. So we've got 500 plus registered passengers who want taking to medical appointments. So they're quite a diverse group, client group. It involves driving senior citizens to the medical appointments or social activities, which ensure people are able to look after their health and well-being and to help reduce isolation. There are a number of existing elderly passengers have mentioned that we really are keen to get to their appointments. We also transport children and young people and families to schools, court and supervised contacts for Milton Keynes Council. And the role doesn't mean a long-term commitment. It means whatever volunteers can offer their time, often little or as much as they can actually do. They can enter their own availability on a system and just choose which journeys they would like to do. Many of the journeys are local. There's some long distance. We take people as far as Oxford, Cambridge, London, but majority are quite local.
1 minute to go, Heather.
Okay, so yeah, we're trying. We've got probably 20 drivers, and there's 12 active at the moment. So we don't really have enough, So please come forward if you're available. The Stepping Stones project is looking for volunteers to mentor people aged between 8 to 25 who have left inpatients mental health services to integrate back into the local community and to support them to get their own goals, to develop resilience and hence enhance their life skills. And also the Grand Mentors, it's volunteers 50 plus who want to support young people. So again, people aged 16 to 24, it's about meeting that young person on a regular basis to boost their confidence and work towards goals they have planned together. And all volunteers receive training, induction training, optimise, go through the DBS system and safeguarding training.
Fantastic, brilliant.
So,
thanks, Heather.
Yeah.
It's everything. I think sorry, it's all awkward, isn't it? 3 minutes, just not enough time at all. I think volunteering matters have got lots more volunteering opportunities as well that they'll be able to people be able to look at on your on the contact sheet, won't they? So that's just a flavour. That's really really lovely. Thank you. Excellent. And so we're going to hear next from Als Pals. So we've got Suzanne with us today.
Yeah, I'm here.
Ah, fantastic.
So Als Pals is a fairly new charity. We launched back in 2020, sadly about 2 weeks before the pandemic started. So it was a difficult start. But how Als Pals came around was I lost my dad 3 years ago to cancer. And what we found was, although there was family around him, it was actually quite a lonely process in the hospital. It was lonely when he went home, and a lot of people don't have family to support them. A lot of people don't have that network around them, and some of them do, and they don't actually want to talk to their family about their fears and their concerns. Currently there's over 1,300 people in Milton Keynes Hospital that are having treatment for cancer, and obviously Macmillan is the largest cancer charity around. Sadly, a lot of people don't get to see that because there's too many. So I have a vision that Als Pals will be the secondary cancer charity for Milton Keynes and beyond. So what we're looking for, so currently for the last 18 months, we've been in the hospital supporting patients. And for the past 18 months, we've supported thousands of patients. And we do that in a manner of different ways. So we chat to patients in the ward, we telephone them at home, we provide them with maybe like a gift bag or an afternoon tea. So there's different things we can do, and we try to alleviate any stress that a cancer patient might be going through, and also alleviate stress for the family, so we can offload a lot for them as well. We've developed and suddenly launched a home support service, and this is where I would really like my volunteers to come in. So we have around 30 volunteers that are in the hospital. That's not to say that we can't take more in the hospital if people prefer to be in that one environment. But what I am really looking for is to have some volunteers, more volunteers in the home support role. So they would be enhanced DBS checked via Als Pals. They would undergo an Als Pals induction, which is a thorough sort of discussion on safeguarding, etc., because we are dealing with cancer patients and they are quite vulnerable. So how the home support service works, we do currently have 3 patients on board of that, and that's been in the last week. So I would go out and initially risk assess the property, chat to the patient, see what it is they would like as their support, and then I would pair them up with a volunteer. So all expenses are paid for the volunteer in respect of driving to the property. And also you would go in, you would chat to the patient, you might be able to get a bit of food shopping for them because they haven't been able to get out. You might be able to offload from the family, so the family member can go outside and do their own thing, so we can sit with the patient. Some patients
one minute to go, Suzanne, sorry to interrupt.
All right, thank you. Some patients will be just starting of their journey, some people will be end of life, so it's quite an emotional journey for a volunteer. Now I appreciate it's not for everyone, but if you do have an empathy towards cancer and cancer patients in general, then I would say, you know, come on board. I do look after my volunteers, because without volunteers we would be absolutely nothing as a charity. We are 100% voluntary run. I don't even take a salary myself. So for me, that's so important, but clearly it's going to change going forward and as we grow. Very much flexible in respect of working with the volunteer. It could be anything from 1 to 2 hours a week. They can do more or less. All your training will be covered. We do offer training packs. We also have a doctor on board who's a psychologist, who is not only there for patients, but he's also there for volunteers as well. So we have a great support network. We meet every quarter. I'm a great believer in looking after your volunteers, because if you look after them, hopefully they'll stay and stay with us for the journey. So we're looking to grow. It's exciting, and the home support service is an amazing opportunity for someone to come on board. I'll put all the website details and the email in the chat.
Excellent, fantastic. Thanks, Suzanne. That's really lovely to hear from you, and all the fantastic work you're doing to support people at such a difficult time. It's really amazing roles for those who feel they can take them on, definitely. It's an emotive subject and it's not for everyone, and I get that, you know, but it's about, if you've got some experience with cancer, a lot of my volunteers have had cancer, they've lost people to cancer, and it can really help someone going through it currently. So important, definitely. Fantastic, thanks very much for sharing that.
Thank you.
And we're going to move on now to Esme from Willen Hospice, if that's okay.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming this evening. My name is Esme. I'm here representing Willen Hospice. So just to tell you a bit about the charity, we're a charity that provides end-of-life care to adults based in Milton Keynes and also patients in Bedfordshire and Northamptonshire as well. We turned 40 this year, so we've had a birthday as well this year in our organisation. Our care is free at the point of use for patients and families. We do have an inpatient unit, but we're much broader than that in the care that we offer. We have a big team of nurses who care for patients in their homes. And then we have a whole suite of complementary therapies and specialist symptom control services as well. So we're very much looking after the whole patient, emotional needs, spiritual care, and the caring for the carers of the patients as well. Only about 20% of our funding comes from the NHS, and all of the rest of our funding we have to raise. So it's a mammoth task, and obviously being impacted by the pandemic, and we absolutely could not do it without our volunteers. We have a myriad of volunteering roles in our organisation. I will highlight two particular needs, but just to say we have volunteers working with our clinical teams in the hospice. We have volunteers administrators, we have project managers, we have people who look after our gardens volunteering, we have people helping with our complementary therapies, we have people in our warehouse, drivers' mates. So really, if you have a look at our website, all the opportunities are on there. If you've got a particular skill that you can offer us that isn't on there, please give us a call, because we can probably find something that you could help us with anyway. So just to highlight two particular needs we've got at the minute, we've got a brand new shop opening in Midsummer Place. It's going to be a fashionable, trendy place to volunteer. We've got 7-day-a-week opportunity there, morning, afternoon, evening. If you or any of your friends or family are interested in working in that new shop to raise funds for the hospice, please get in touch with us. We would absolutely love to hear from you. And the second one...
What, 1 minute to go, Esme, just to say.
Oh, okay. I thought I had less time than that. Okay. I might tell you a bit more about Midsummer Place. So we've got Midsummer Place, exciting city centre, development that we've got, and it's opening in a couple of weeks' time. So roles would include selecting great things to put out, displaying them, serving customers, working on the till, upcycling if you're interested in like sustainability of things, that anything. It's going to be a lovely, lively, social, buzzy place to be. So and that is a real need we've got, because it's opening in like 3 weeks' time. Another one, Christmas cheer. If you would like to volunteer over Christmas, you've just got ad hoc bit of time. Our community Christmas helpers, Santa's helpers, if you like. We've got lots of community events that we're supporting: Santa's grottos, Christmas light switch-ons, bucket collections, going with Santa's floats, all these sorts of things over the next few weeks. So if you would like to support us, but you've maybe not got a regular slot every week, then events or community volunteering would work well for you, and it will just be really fun as well, I think, over Christmas.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, thank you, Esme. That's great. Yeah, it certainly sounds like there's a huge range of roles there that people can bring different skills to. So yeah.
So yeah, only talk about two in any sort of detail, but
exactly.
It's all on the website. So and we've tried to put some on the Do It platform as well now. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
If you've got any questions, just get in touch.
Lovely. Perfect. That's great. Thank you so much. Excellent. So yeah, we're going to be hearing next from Buckingham Canal Society, sorry, and we've got Athena with us tonight.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Athena.
Hello. Yes, I'm having to lean forward a bit because my microphone tends to be a bit faint. Can you hear me all that?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hopefully it's slightly faint, but I can hear you. Hopefully everyone else can.
So it might seem a bit strange if I'm leaning forward like this, but basically, yes, I'm Athena Beckett, and I'm from a charity called Buckingham Canal Society. We are hoping to restore a disused canal that used to run from the village of Cosgrove to the town of Buckingham. Now, don't be put off by the fact that you're restoring a whole canal, because we're just working in sections. But what we need people just to help with practical tasks. We have 3 main tasks where we're working at the moment. One of them is actually a nature reserve, Heidel Nature Reserve. It's actually owned by BBOUT, that's Berks, Bucks and Oxon Wildlife Trust, and they leased it to us, and it is actually a nature reserve. So what we're doing is practical tasks down there. So what we need people who don't have to have any experience, who just like to work in the fresh air, meet friends and feel you're doing good and doing something for the environment and putting things back into the community. So at Heidel Nature Reserve, it's on part of the East Valley Way. We're teaching people traditional crafts like hedge laying. We're planting a kind of wildlife bed along there at the moment. So when people walk along the canal towpath, they see a lovely connection of wildlife. We've got lock gates around there. If people fancy planting lock gates, they can have a go at that. But it's basically being out in the open air. We don't do long days. We start about 10 in the morning and we finish at 3 o'clock. What we do basically is Tuesdays, Thursdays and the second Sunday of each month. But you don't have to come each Thursday, each Tuesday. It's up to you. You can come on 1 week and then miss it for a whole while. It's just as much time you want to spend with us. Then we have another site which is right down the town on the outskirts of Buckingham, but it's only about 15 minutes drive from Milton Keynes. And what we're doing down there, we actually got a canal in water, so it looks very beautiful. We've planted wildflowers along the edge of it. So in spring you get marsh marigold, in the summer you get yellow irises, and you get purple flowers in the winter. And we just need to keep it looking good. We're again planting a whole series of wildflower beds down there. We need people to come and trim hedges. And we planted a lot of reeds. They tend to grow a lot, so it's just helping keeping the site looking attractive.
Fantastic. 1 minute to go, Athena.
Right, then at our Cosgrove site, it's completely different. There we've got the big jobs. We've got excavators, we've got dumper trucks. So if you fancy, of course, we don't expect you to come and jump in one of those straight away. There's training for things like that. So if you want to come and learn how to drive an excavator, a dumper truck, it's an ideal way of doing it. We're also doing things like we're pointing brickwork, and we can do lime mortar mixes and show people the traditional way of doing brickwork. We've also got our own workboat, and this has got a crane on it. So if you really are keen, there are training courses you can go along to learn how to drive a crane and things like that. So it is completely different down there. So you can either join the sites where we're doing much more about nature and wildlife, or you can get involved with the more building skills. And apart from that, we do some really nice things. We've run a canal festival each year at Cosgrove, where we had about 20 working boats selling items. And we do need people to do marketing and things like that. So there's a whole raft of things you can come, and of course you can swap around. And the tasks will vary for about the year. We go right on through winter. We don't stop. We very rarely have to miss a day, even in sort of November. We've been out last week in November, and the weather was beautiful, and we sat and had a picnic lunch together. And so, yeah, sistering people enjoy practical works, want to come and help the environment, this may appeal to you. Right.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you, Athena. That's yeah, that's great. So yeah, some real opportunities there to kind of get stuck into a long-term project and yeah, as you say, learn new skills and get your hands dirty. So that sounds great. And I've yeah, I was walking by the canal last week actually. It looks amazing. So it's incredible how far it's come so far, isn't it?
Certainly is. Yeah.
Definitely. Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, and we're going to be hearing next from Xtra Special Families. And I think we've got Denise and Angela with us today. But it's okay to hand over to you guys.
Hey, hello there. I'm Denise, and I'm speaking on behalf of Xtra Special Families. We're a small organisation that was formed around 7.5 years ago. by myself and another couple of Broughton mums. Our motivation was our frustration at the general lack of socialising opportunities for our 5 autistic young teenagers. Our aim was to provide a secure, fun environment for children with additional needs and their siblings to share some positive experiences together, while at the same time offer the chance for parents and carers to enjoy some social time too. So we organised a pilot day to gauge the interest locally, and we were absolutely overwhelmed by the response. Therefore, Extra Special Family Days evolved, and with the help of grants and fundraising, we continue to offer our sessions approximately 8 times a year during the school holidays. So we're not a full-time charity, we literally do just run during school holidays. Each of our sessions runs for 2 hours. We buy in specialist activities such as music groups, entertainers, mobile animals, inflatables, and in addition we provide our own craft activities and a range of toys, and we serve some simple refreshments. The venue can vary as we hire the space for the duration of the afternoon, but to date we have used the pavilions at Broughton and Brooklands, and most recently Broughton Fields School, that has the added benefit of a secure outdoor space. Our committee has gradually expanded from the 3 of us to 7. Most of us actually work, so it's not a full-time charity, but we give the time that we can to organise the events in advance. But with work and other commitments, we frequently find ourselves in a situation where we really could do with some additional help. The support we require involves helping setting up for the session, overseeing or supervising the activities, serving refreshments, and tidying away afterwards. So we would be most grateful for regular or occasional volunteers that could support us. A DBS check won't be necessary because parents are responsible for their children at all times. Any potential volunteers are most welcome to come along to one of our planning meetings where they can meet the team and gain more of an insight into how the fun day operates.
Need to go, Denise.
Thank you.
Have you finished, Denise? Sorry.
Yes, sorry.
Oh,
yes.
you've finished. Sorry. Yeah, I think you've got a few more seconds if you have got anything to add, but if not, then that's.
I tried very hard to cover it very quickly.
Yeah, I know it's a trick, isn't it? But yeah, you got through lots there, and it sounds like an initiative that's really grown, like you say, from a couple of people coming together to support their children to something, you know, really quite a lot bigger, and that supports lots of people now. So it's sounds amazing.
Definitely, yeah. The response was quite overwhelming, and obviously those young teenagers with it. You know, we first started 7.5 years ago. Those young teenagers are actually young adults now.
Yes,
but
yeah.
It was tricky because we had children on the autistic spectrum and then mainstream children as well, and it was difficult to find something that they could go to where they would all benefit, where they would all be able to have fun together. Because mainstream groups didn't necessarily work for the autistic children, and although there was provision and activities on offer for children with autism, you weren't able to take your other children with you.
Yeah, just wasn't.
So we wanted something for the whole family.
Exactly.
And that's how we evolved.
It's often the way, isn't it, when people, individuals or families or parents are experiencing an issue, so many other people are as well. So it just takes some people to set something up and take some action, and really helps a whole raft of people at the same time. So no, that's a really lovely story. So that's fantastic to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. And if anyone is interested, we actually have a Facebook page where there are quite a few photographs of past events, all posted with the permission of the attendees. So you can take a look on there and just see for yourself some of the things that we offer.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple. It really really jumps off out of the screen, doesn't it? All the kind of the fun that's being had. It's fab. But,
Thank you.
Excellent. Fab. I think we knew. Yeah, move on now to Age UK Milton Keynes. I think yeah, we've got Tara with us this evening, if that's okay.
Hello, yes, so I'm Tara from Age UK Milton Keynes. We are an independent charity. I think a lot of people think we're part of the main Age UK and getting lots of funding, and that's not the case at all. We raise all our own money in Milton Keynes and we spend it in Milton Keynes. One of the plus points of us being independent is that we aren't dictated to from head office about where the types of services that we offer, which gives us a good scope to offer the services that are relevant for people in Milton Keynes. We offer varied practical and social services for our clients. I actually have over 400 volunteers in the Milton Keynes area. We simply couldn't run any of our services without our volunteers. I know many of you have mentioned that already about how crucial they are, and same goes for me as well. Our aim really at Age UK Milton Keynes, as well as to offer practical services, a main aim is to reduce the loneliness and isolation that so many older people are suffering with at the moment. So there are lots of opportunities to volunteer. We have lots of different roles. We have 8 retail shops and our furniture store at Kiln Farm that are always looking for volunteers Monday to Sunday. So if anyone's interested in that kind of thing, we'd be most grateful to hear from you. We are looking for receptionists. So we have reception, our head office at Pear Tree Bridge. We, like some of you others, we're looking for drivers as well. During COVID, we started a meal delivery service, which was taking out food parcels, 3-course meals that our cook would put together. And it's become so popular, the service has now stayed. So we are looking for drivers to cover certain patches around Milton Keynes, just for an hour or 2 in the afternoon. We also have our befriending service. So that's completely volunteer led, and that would involve going to visit a client that we've ascertained is isolated and lonely, and just visit them. No kind of work is expected from the volunteer. It is just purely having a cup of tea and a chat on a regular basis to build a relationship with that person to help ease their isolation. Within that service, we also do walking befriending as well.
1 minute to go, Tara.
No problem. Some of our roles, we require a DBS certificate, depending on whether the role is entering the person's home and that kind of thing. Others aren't. We have a variety of training available, which is role specific, and volunteering can be regular or it can be ad hoc, depending on what your availability is. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Excellent. That's brilliant. Thanks, Tara. Yeah, it's yeah, as you touched on there, some amazing work that Age UK was involved in over COVID. It was obviously such an extraordinary time, wasn't it? But Age UK were right at the forefront of providing support for some of the most
shopping and prescription collection, and yes,
exactly, definitely, yeah. So no, that was, yeah, it really kind of demonstrated the need for volunteers more than ever as well. Then, didn't it? It was a real, yeah, example of how valuable volunteering is. So that's brilliant. Thanks so much, Tara. And yeah, we're going to move on next to Q Alliance, and we've got Richard with us today. That's okay, Richard. Just
unmute myself. Hello there, I am Richard, representing the Q Alliance. So if you haven't heard about the Q Alliance, we're an LGBTQ+ charity in Milton Keynes, and we offer youth services and adult services across Milton Keynes and in Bedford as well. What we're looking to do is expand our offering so we can support our youth and adults from the LGBTQ+ community across 2021. And what we'd like to be able to do are loads of fun activities. So a lot of we're about fun and empowerment, really, support, and obviously a place where people can go and feel very safe. But a lot of what we want to do is fun. It's all about what we're about, to be honest, as the LGBTQ+ community is. It's a fun community to be part of, and it's a very empowered community who like to enjoy themselves. So what we'd like is some volunteers to help us do that. That's providing potentially coaching sessions for football, or going rock climbing, or camping trips, or just group sessions where we'll be doing art sessions or dance sessions for the youth group, or even just going for a cinema evening with some adults and meetup groups and going out to the cinema, or going for a coffee one evening, or setting up, it could be from canoeing, it could be anything, any different form of activity. We're going to be offering this all across Milton Keynes and in Bedford. We currently hold a youth session in Milton Keynes on a Wednesday evening, and we have a Bedford session which is for the youth on Tuesday evening as well. We're going to expand that throughout 2021, and we need your help to come and enjoy yourself, have fun, support the children, support the youth who are LGBTQ+, who are struggling with their identity and want to engage and make friends. And as well as adults as well. I mean, it's really important to be able to provide those services for adults who also struggle, want to make friends, meet new people. So if you're looking for a fun time and want to actually get engaged with the LGBTQ+ community, even I struggle to say it sometimes, it's quite a mouthful, isn't it, when we keep saying it, then please get in contact with us with Q Alliance. Thank you.
Fantastic, brilliant, thanks Richard. Yeah, again, it's an opportunity for people to get involved, as you say, with a range of activities, really, isn't it? There's quite a lot of scope for people to to kind of anything that brings people together, essentially, like you were saying.
Bring people together, enjoy themselves, make friendships, feel empowered, support each other. That's what we do.
Fantastic, that's brilliant. Oh, thanks Richard, that's great. And yeah, we're going to move on now to Milton Keynes City Discovery Centre. We've got Camille with us, I think.
Thank you, Julie. And thanks to Community Action for hosting this. It's been really wonderful to hear about all these charities this evening. So thank you for having me. I'm from Milton Keynes City Discovery Centre. It's another bit of a mouthful there. So we refer to ourselves as CDC. And we're based at Bradwell Abbey. And if you don't know, that's about just under 2 miles from CMK, but you'd never guess when you're walking around there. I don't know if anyone knows it, but it's a little slice of medieval heaven. I'm a bit biased, but it's really beautiful. It's really stunning grounds, and we've got a 14th century chapel there as well. We're an education charity since 1992, and we provide educational sessions for anything up from reception years in primary school right through to higher education, and they're mainly history and geography based sessions. And a lot of those sessions are experiential, and they range from hosting Roman banquets to Tudor witch trials. Yeah, it's we're all about the immersive, and that's reflected in our programme of events that we host for families. We do Easter events, we do medieval fun fair days, we do Halloween events. We also do a Christmas event, Angels at the Abbey. Unfortunately, we had to cancel that due to some rehearsal issues, but hopefully we'll be back with that next year. So yeah, we've got an ever-growing, expanding event programme coming up as well. But I'm here mainly to talk to you today about our grounds. So we've got beautiful parkland. It comprises a woodland walk, which has an art trail down it. We have a sensory garden, we have a community garden. It's all free and open to the public at all times. And it's been sort of anecdotally, it's been a real lifeline to people during the pandemic. It was a popular site for people to take their daily exercise, and it continues to be a real place of solace for local people. And the grounds are beautiful and extensive, but this is where we need a bit of help. It's I echo a lot of the charities here. It's a very, very small team. And we rely so much on volunteer power and the goodwill and the expertise of the people around us to keep the grounds looking as stunning as they do. So you don't have to be Monty John. You can be an absolute beginner when it comes to gardening, and we will welcome you with open arms. There is something for everyone to do, and it's a real opportunity to learn from Brian. He looks after our main gardens. He's a really wonderful, knowledgeable gentleman. So it's
I'm ready to go, Camille.
Thank you. It's a fantastic opportunity to learn from him. Our community garden is where we're hoping to expand. It's basically an allotment. We're hoping to really ramp it up next year so we can provide fresh produce for community fridges. We'd like to really funnel our support to other charities as well. So help with that would be amazing. The roles are flexible. You can give as much or as little of your time as you'd like. We require a DBS check if you are working with children. A lot of volunteers don't just work in the gardens, they work across the organisation as well. So it's very, very flexible. If there's something you're keen to get involved in, just shout, and we can definitely adapt to your needs as well. And it's a really, really, just want to leave on the note, it's a very friendly team. It's a very welcoming team. And it's a CDC family atmosphere. So we'd love for you to join us. Thank you.
Fantastic, perfect timing. Thanks, Camille. That's great. Yeah, and yeah, I agree. There's a very special atmosphere at Bradwell Abbey, isn't there? It's very peaceful and lovely place to be. So yeah, that sounds like a great opportunity to go and spend some time there and enhance the environment. That's lovely. Excellent, thank you. And yeah, so now we're going to hear from Eaton Community Larder, and I think we've got Steve with us this evening.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thanks very much. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can. That's great. Thanks, Steve.
Excellent. I want to start off with a question. Did you know that supermarkets throw away 10 million tonnes of food every year? So in conjunction with Fayre, community larders across Milton Keynes reduce food waste to minimise the impact on the environment and help people save money. It's a membership model so that people can join for a small fee. And Sophia and Fayre go across, work with different supermarkets to bring together ambient food, fruit and veg, and chilled items from the supermarkets that would otherwise be thrown into landfill, and they distribute it through the larders. The good thing is that membership is open to everybody, including all of you on here. But particularly for people that are on low incomes, it provides a really good, sustainable, long-term, healthy food option in a way that's affordable. And the larder also provides a safe space for people to meet over a cup of tea or coffee, helps with isolation and loneliness. And from January, we're going to be setting up a larder lunch club for a simple lunch for those who attend the larder, so that there's hot food for all who go. Our larder at Eaton runs every Tuesday between 12:30 and 4:30 and operates out of Eaton Church Centre. But there are other larders in Milton Keynes on different days of the week. And I'm happy to share that with you if Tuesday is not a good day for you, for example, at our larder. At all the larders, volunteers are needed for some or all of that time slot between 12:30 and 4. Could be on a weekly basis, or some people come on the rota once or twice a month. Some volunteers are needed to help with the heavy lifting of the food crates, to get them out of storage for the setup and the breakdown as we move food around at various places. Other volunteers are needed just to be on the food stations to replenish the stock as it gets low. And also we need some volunteers who are good at cooking. If you want to come and do the odd stint of lunch in January, you'd be very happy to do that. Or if you just want to come and volunteer and chat to people over tea and coffee, you're very welcome to do that as well. So we've got a variety of roles, but as I said, if you're wanting to find out a bit more, help the environment and support food back community larder by reducing the amount of food that gets thrown away by the supermarkets, then get in touch with me. I'll put my details in the chat. Thank you.
Excellent. Brilliant. Thanks, Steve. No, that's great. Yeah, and it's just shocking statistic, isn't it, about all the waste and yeah, all the good that can be done with it alternatively. So that's a fantastic initiative. So great to hear all about that. Thank you. Yeah, and we're going to move on now to Sarah from Winter Night Shelter. That's okay. I see Sarah. Oh, I think you're still on mute, Sarah. Are you having trouble unmuting yourself?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Apologies. For whatever reason, my screen has just disappeared, and I know I'm still with you, but I just can't see everybody. So, oh no, I've just, sorry, sorted it out. Thank you. Apologies for that. Right, I know it's been a long call, so I will keep this as brief and as exciting and dramatic as I can, because there's been so many great charities all offering amazing things today. So thank you to Community Action MK for organising this. We have a particular plea at the Winter Night Shelter at the moment, because we're facing high levels of need of homelessness and people in need at the moment, and we are looking for volunteers to help us open our winter night shelter emergency accommodation service. Now we usually run our overnight accommodation through the winter months every single day, and it takes an army of 800 volunteers, so it's a massive operation, and we're a very small part-time staff team. The point we are at the moment, in usual years, we have usually recruited, trained our volunteers, and we're about to launch. We are in a situation where we still need to find around 180 more volunteers to fill the spaces we need in order to be able to open the shelter. And for every day that we can't open the shelter, there are 15 homeless people who'll be sleeping in the cold. So it's urgent and it's good. As a volunteer, you can help to support the people we help. They are sofa surfers, rough sleepers, people that have nowhere else to go and no other means of support. And every year we have our guests tell us how it's saved their lives, changed their lives. We can set people on a pathway to rebuilding their lives. And so our volunteers get so much from the volunteering because they can really see the impact it has on the individuals that they get to know. Now, in terms of the positions we have available and what you can do, there are so many different roles, and if you can smile, if you can make a cup of tea, you can volunteer with us. There'll be a position for you. We have got 3 types of service. We've got our winter night shelter accommodation, which is at overnight venues in the city. So we've got 4 different locations where they're running this year. We've got New Life Church in Wolverton. We've got Newport Pagnell Church Hall in Newport Pagnell Baptist Church. We've got Water Eaton Churches Centre in Bletchley. I know there's Steve Hallett who's on the call list from there. We thank them for their support and partnering with us. And we have to go, Sarah, sorry. Thank you. And the wraparound care that we provide to the overnight accommodation is a evening reception cafe at Unity Park Station. That's our base. That's the old bus station in town. And a morning welcome service when in the morning our guests are brought back to that centre, at which our welfare team can provide support, and lots of other partner charities that we have links with, including Depaul, who are here. We've got links with lots of people who provide support to help people rebuild their lives. So all of the roles range from helping with cleaning, which is really important under COVID. So we do have lots of cleaning roles available, setting up guest interaction, cooking, helping in the kitchen, night duty, supervising overnight, helping pack down in the mornings, making beds, meeting and greeting, making cups of tea. There is a whole range, and we need people from early in the mornings, which are ideal for some little shifts before work to do a couple of hours and then head to your working day. And we've got evening opportunities galore. So please visit our website. We have too many opportunities to list on our Do It page, but our listing on the Do It page points everybody to our website where they can see where all the opportunities are. But it's the principle of everybody across Milton Keynes can come together in a small way to have a big impact. So we're really grateful to anyone that might be interested in helping us support the homeless this winter. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sarah. That's yeah, incredible. And I obviously got to heard the numbers of volunteers that's involved with the night shelter before, but every time it kind of I just think, wow, what a number of people coming together to support people that are homeless in Milton Keynes. 800 is just such a huge number, isn't it? And
it is a huge number, but it's because people volunteer in a manageable way. So most people we find give a shift of just a few hours a week or a few hours a fortnight, and that's a sustainable thing because we run right through the winter. And most people bond in friendly teams and they get to know each other and they become like a family, and we eat meals together and those kind of things. So it's great.
Amazing. That's lovely. Brilliant. Oh, thank you so much. Excellent. So that's the last of the groups that we're going to hear from this evening. We're just going to move on to a period of time for any of the attendees today to ask any questions they might have for the groups about volunteer opportunities or the organisations more generally. If you've got any questions, feel free to pop up a virtual hand or a physical hand, or just simply take yourself off mute and ask a question. That would be great.
It's David Mitchell here. I found it really useful. You know, just retiring, so after just retiring, I'm looking for to volunteer, and it's been a great evening. So thank you very, very much indeed for putting this on, everybody. And I'll definitely be contacting some of the organisations. So it's been absolutely fantastic. Can I also go on to the Do It website, the Do It, would that help as well?
Yeah, definitely. So with Do It, we'll send you the links around in the summary sheet as well. We offer support sessions as well. So on a Tuesday, we have 20-minute slots. So they're for anyone to come along to, where we can support you to set up your Do It profile, kind of get the hang of looking at different organisations, how to register your interest if you have any issues. Yeah, there's quite a few options on there. And it has a really useful function, has like a directory on there. So it'll give you the option to kind of see some of the different community and voluntary groups across Milton Keynes. Obviously, there's lots of groups. We've just got like a handful today just to kind of give a bit of insight. So yeah, it's a really good resource. So we definitely recommend signing up to that, and more than happy to help however needed.
Okay, lovely. Well, thank you very much indeed to everybody. It's been great. Okay, and I hope to see some of you soon.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Fab. Any other questions that anyone's got? Feel free to ask away. I know one question I had, if there's not any just at the moment, is whether any of the volunteer opportunities available are suitable for young people, so maybe kind of under 18-year-olds. I don't know whether that's an option. Three waves, yeah.
I'm doing a wave.
Yes.
so yeah, Suzanne from
I was just going to say actually. Yeah, I was just going to say. Obviously, it's an emotive. We're dealing with vulnerable patients, but we don't sort of exclude anyone from volunteering. So recently, I've just got my God, there must be 10, 15 student volunteers that have come on board. And as much as it can be quite difficult for them to go face to face, maybe, and they're not relevant for the home support service because they're clearly not driving yet. But we place them in the cancer centre. So we have a health and wellbeing desk that we manage, and they're on hand to welcome patients and families as they come into the cancer centre. And that works really well. And these are volunteers that might want to go into a medical profession. So it's really useful for them. So I'm finding the students are actually really, really beneficial to the charity. And it's so important that we don't exclude them, because actually they are, when I interview them, some of their answers are better than adults. I mean, they're so mature. So it's vital that we allow that and welcome them as a charity. So there's always an opportunity for them.
Excellent. That's lovely. Yeah, and Esme, you're saying as well, there's opportunities, some of the opportunities anyway at Willen in the retail areas. Yeah, I think that's what Esme was saying, and also Age UK as well, equally in the retail, in the shops as well, can be over 14. So that's great.
Yeah, I think it's really good for us to know that as well. We get quite a lot of inquiries about like Duke of Edinburgh awards and things. So yeah, it's handy to know. We can definitely signpost some volunteers to you.
Definitely. Excellent.
Seeing as it's now our question show, Julie, I had a question about employee volunteering. So we get quite a lot of companies and organisations coming to us looking for maybe group volunteering days. Obviously some roles it's not suitable for, but we wondered if any of the roles you guys have would take on employee volunteers. Denise?
Yes, well, I don't know if you recall coming to our last Extra Special Family event. We did have We did have a work group of volunteers that came along, and it was a small group, but they were fabulous because they just took some of the pressure off us. And we were cleared away in super quick time because they were just so efficient. And they actually, some of the comments that we received from them afterwards was that they had found it quite a grounding experience and they had really enjoyed their time with us. Unfortunately, they can't request to come and do it again because it goes into some kind of a pool where the work employees have to vote on which charity they're going to support doing whatever proposed activity it is, or, you know, it might be painting, it might be gardening. But one of our previous clients who had been to our sessions before with one of her special needs children had put us forward. So we ended up, I think we had about 6 or 8 of them, and they travelled from all parts of the country just to come and help at our session for that Wednesday afternoon, and it was amazing to have them. So yes, we'd definitely be open to those kind of arrangements, most definitely, especially as our events are so infrequent because they run just during the school holidays. So sometimes it's tricky to get volunteers because in school holidays a lot of people go away themselves.
Yeah.
So yes, you can definitely put us down for that one, please.
Fab, excellent. No, great to bear that in mind. Often these opportunities come up kind of without a huge amount of warning sometimes. So if we know organisations that are potentially interested, then that's really useful.
And I think it's beneficial because we don't require any kind of DBS because there is no responsibility in looking after. Although all our clients, or the majority of our clients, are vulnerable, they're with a parent or a carer for the duration of the session. So we don't have to go through DBS checks. We'll just have a volunteers briefing before the session starts. Worked really, really well for us. It's the first time we've done it, and I think we definitely, all the committee would agree, we'd certainly be open to it again.
Lovely. No, that's brilliant. Excellent. Yeah, and can see in the chat that there's a potential there as well at Willen Hospice and City Discovery Centre as well for that kind of support. So excellent. That's great to know.
That's brilliant. Any more questions? Don't have any questions. Also, so we'll be sending around the summary sheets that obviously have all the organisation's contact details, so you can get in touch with them if you do have anything you want to ask them, or you can always contact us through our support inbox, so support at Community Action MK. Richard, was that a hand or was that a...
No, sorry, that was a scratch of my head. I think I was thinking at that moment.
I think I'm done.
Just thinking.
Yeah, brilliant. No, we really appreciate everyone attending, and so some of the support, obviously Community Action can offer groups. If you want to send us any information, we can always promote the work you're doing and volunteering opportunities, and then for volunteers, if they want to get in touch, more than happy to signpost to anyone. We do also have a feedback form which we'd really appreciate your input on. So like we said, this is the first time we've done a virtual volunteer fair, and we really hope you found it useful. Obviously, ideally, maybe you'd like to do one in person, but it'd be interesting to hear your feedback of how you found an online session. If there's any groups or causes you'd like to hear from as well, that'd be quite useful for us, and then we can kind of tailor around those things. So yeah, I'll pop the feedback form in the chat for you, and we promise it's really short, like really short. So it'll only take a couple of minutes, so you could do it now, or you could do it just when you get off before you have your dinner. But yeah, we'd really, really appreciate that.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you. And as we've mentioned, we'll be sharing all the contact details around, so you'll be able to, if questions sort of strike you after you've left, then you can always get in touch directly with the organisation. So you'll be able to have a look at that, and we'll also share the recording of the session today. So if any of you want to recap or pass it on to anyone that couldn't make it this evening, then that'll be fab. As you said, yeah, lots of need for volunteers, so the more people that can kind of hear about the organisations that need support, the better. So any help you can give us in spreading the word would be much appreciated. So I think unless there's any final questions, I think we're finishing slightly ahead of time, which makes me feel even more guilty for using my buzzer. But it was, thank you so much for the groups